How did you come up with the idea for standard cognition? What was the inspiration?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody hates lines.
Yeah.
And everyone hates self-checkout even more than that.
Yeah.
That's a pretty easy concept. You could go back 50 years and say, what would you like to improve about your shopping experience? Well, I don't want to wait 10 minutes to get out of here. So I think the idea is pretty easy. It's just that now is kind of the zeitgeist, that the technology and the state of machine learning is getting to a point where you can feasibly remove all of that sweat. Like, let's just get out of the store. Let's make this really seamless.
And so how does it work exactly? I know you have to have an app. What do? Will you get the app and then you just show up at the store and you walk in and out with some shampoo?
Yeah. I mean, the goal is really just to completely remove the notion of transacting from stores. If you think about what Uber and Lyft have brought to the world of taxiing, basically is you don't think about transacting anymore. You pull out the app and you call the car, but then you're done. When you get to your destination, you just open the door and you leave. You don't even think that you're paying. But we want to bring that same experience to stores. You walk into a store, you grab what you want, you walk out, and that's it. You are transacting, but you're not thinking about it. It just happens automatically.
So removing friction equals more joy for customers.
Absolutely.
Got it. So assuming we walked in here and we had the app, would the app know we're in the location, or do we have to check in explicitly? How does it work?
Yeah, so right now you do need to check in. That's the one piece of engagement we still need, but we're working on removing that as well too.
I mean, you know my location, right? If I give you my location information, shouldn't you know I'm in this place? Why do I need to check in?
Yeah, so we do know you're in the store, but there's a tricky problem. The check-in problem is what we call it actually, where if there's 20 people in the store, we know that all of 20 people are in this geo-gated location.
Okay.
But we need to be able to associate your payment information with a particular person in our tracking system.
And so we've walked in, but if 3 of us walked in, how do you know which person took the soap versus the drink versus the mug?
Exactly. So we have a collection of cameras overhead. Our system's completely vision-based. It's all cameras.
Got it.
It's anonymously tracking all the shoppers in the store, but we don't do any facial recognition. So there's no way for us to be able to recognize you and say, hey, this is Joe Schmo. And that's intentional. We've designed the system with that privacy.
Do people care about that?
So some people care, some people don't care. But
I don't care. Like if I walk into a store, I'm already, like any bodega I would walk into in Brooklyn had closed circuit television.
Yeah.
Why do people care?
So CCTV and a facial recognition system that we're going to deploy across the world are slightly different. And it depends on the geography in terms of the actual laws around this, as well as the culture around it.
Got it.
So the US is sort of somewhere in between the extremes. Europe is going to be on one further extreme of being much more privacy preserving. And then there's countries and jurisdictions that are further on the even other side of the extreme where you actually probably have to do facial recognition.
Okay, so I come in, I check in that I'm in the store. You know I'm in the store, but based on me hitting the check-in button, you know the exact moment I'm in the store and ready to shop.
Exactly. So then
do you know my location as well based on like the Wi-Fi signal so the camera can pinpoint me in the store? So
the cameras alone, no Wi-Fi actually, are doing precise visual tracking down to the centimeter of wherever shopper is, which is actually a pretty cool application on its own. Forget about checkout.
Yeah.
We know where every shopper is down to the centimeter throughout their entire shopping trip.
Got it.
So things that we want to roll out in the future would include in-store positioning.
How do you know
maps.
if 2 people come in and they press the button, let's say it's a big store and it's busy, 2 people press the button at the same second or 2 seconds, how would it know who's who?
So we do a visual sync on the phone. So what happens is 2 or 3 or 4 people are trying to check in. Each one of them get a distinct color. We display that on the screen. The cameras are watching.
Got it.
The camera says person 7's got a blue screen, and my user check-in system says they sent blue to user 7, or to Joe rather.
Interesting.
So now we can make that association.
Got it.